Hey everybody, it's Caitlin from PAREdown. If you're just finding my channel for the first time, welcome. I blog, vlog, and Instagram about living zero waste, or always keeping that goal in mind of achieving zero waste. And yeah, today's video is actually something pretty unsexy. I thought I would show you my recycling. I think a big misconception about people who live zero waste is that they must have like tons of recycling, and that actually hasn't been the case. We have found that our recycling has been cut in half, if not more. Probably more by now. So for the last 4.5 weeks, it was just February, and so it's 28 days, but I actually waited a couple more, so it's actually 30 days. Had to think about that. That I have been collecting my recycling to sort of show you what our recycling for a month looks like. And just a quick disclaimer, I'll put a link to it in the description below, but our family has sort of like a gimme list. When, this is something I'm very passionate about. My husband goes along with it because he loves me, and he sees the benefits of a zero waste lifestyle and the values that we're teaching our kids, and he very much supports all of that. But I don't think it's a lifestyle that he would, I know, it's not a lifestyle that he would choose for himself. And if I weren't doing the majority of the, I don't even want to say heavy work, it's not heavy work, but it's me that's doing the shopping and me that's being sort of more conscious, or the brain of the, operation in this regard. Then when we embarked on this journey, we decided we'd allow ourselves a top 10 list, sort of our gimmies of things that we still purchased in packaging. He's got one and I've got one, and we include stuff for him. That's Apollo, our puppy. Hey buddy. As well as we include things for the kids on there. And it's basically things that we can't imagine living without, and things that give us immense pleasure, and that, if we weren't allowed to still indulge in these items, that we would probably not sustain this type of lifestyle. And yeah, so I'll put a link to our top 10 list if you're interested in seeing what that is, but there's a few of those items here, so I'm just giving you that disclaimer up front. So yeah, here's our recycling for the month. My husband, it's on his list. He probably goes through one of these every 2 months, maybe. So he probably buys like 6 of these a year. So he just finished one of those up. So there you go. I, for the life of me, have not figured out dried beans. If anybody has any tips, please, especially for chickpeas. I like to make homemade hummus. I cannot figure it out. So I keep buying chickpeas in cans. So that's there. Black beans in cans. I don't mind black beans and things like that in soups and stuff, or cooked items, but if I'm just doing a salad, like a Mexican taco salad or something, then I don't like the ones that I've just soaked. So tips, please. And corn. That was for this one. This thing is the first can of corn I've ever bought, but there it is. So yeah, so those are a few things. Our neighbor came over and she brought this for the kids. Something else, I probably should do a vlog on this. I used to have a very stringent sort of attitude about zero waste in my home, and people taking home their trash with them, or not bringing their trash into our house, recycling, etc., etc., etc. And I've sort of changed my attitude on that. So I'll have to do a blog on that, or a vlog. But yeah, I don't think it's a very hospitable way to approach zero waste. And I don't think it's a very good way to get people to come around to your way of thinking. So more on that another day. So that's from the landlady. We went out for brunch, and the kids' syrup for the pancakes came in these, so I take responsibility for my trash when I'm out if I can. Sometimes I have forgotten by accident, but I try and bring it home. Again, from our neighbor for the kids on Valentine's, she brought them upstairs some chocolates. So, and I will say for any of you that are gonna write, oh, please, you should express your feelings to her around it. Like, she knows how we live. I just don't think she fully understands, you know, and that's okay. Yeah. And what else do I got here? So this is something I'm gonna have to reevaluate my top 10 list because these puppies are going on. So yeah, I try and eat a plant-based diet. I try to avoid animal products, as well as I have a gluten sensitivity. Yeah, I really struggle with that one. But I have found these, I struggle because I wasn't having anything in the house, but the side effects that I get from eating it are just not worth it. So it was sort of my mom that was like, you know, you need to make another exception. So I have found these raw wraps. They're from a local supplier or a local lady who makes them in St. Catharines. If anyone's local, you should totally try these. They're frigging phenomenal, and they actually come in Ziploc bags, but they're not great. Like, this one's busted at the bottom, but yeah, I just have to recycle them. I thought about reusing them, but I don't have a purpose for reusing them. I still have 3 or 4 plastic bags that I've been reusing from 10 years ago. I'm not really interested in starting to collect a bunch more plastic bags. So that's something that I need to evaluate my top 10 list about. I've got a few bits of plastic. I'm not totally sure what that's from. That might actually be from my mom's bread. My mom came into town and she brought her bread. I don't know why. Maybe she thinks our bread is bad. And a few other little bits of plastic. That one looks like it's from around a ketchup bottle or something. From around something else. And then the big one is our paper. So I've borrowed a bag from our landlady. Excuse my hand in the way there. And this is it's a dollar store bag, and it's filled with paper products. It's filled with our toilet paper rolls and the paper that the toilet paper comes around with. I grabbed a cardboard box from the grocery store and made like an animal house for my kids' stuffies. There's a bit of mail in there. There's a couple flyers, one from the rec center. I was looking for activities for the kids, like that's from the fall, so I just happened to recycle that then. But the majority of it is artwork and paper that is sent home from the school. I've expressed my wishes to them. They don't get it. And even styrofoam, that was an art thing that came home. Boo-hoo, styrofoam. So yeah, anybody who is in the Ontario area and your kids are just about to enter school, something to check out would be Ontario Eco Schools. So there is a whole list of schools that are eco-friendly, and this wouldn't really be a problem there. They even do zero waste lunches at these schools. There's Toronto School Eco Schools, and then there's Ontario Eco Schools. I'm sure across Canada, in other cities, you know, North America, and even globally, there are other programs like this. And yeah, I just never thought to really investigate it until my kids were already enrolled. And it would be pretty easy to get a school certified. We're only here for 1 year. And the school, I approached them about it, seemed a bit hesitant, so I'm not going to push it, but it will be something that will be criteria moving forward for future schools. So yeah, that's our recycling for a month. It's way less than it used to be. Aside from this, the only other recycling we have is beer bottles. My husband brings those back to the beer store, and a few bottles of wine, which get taken back as well. So there you have it. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel below, and shoot me a comment if there's a video that you would like to see, and I will do my best to get it out there for you. Okay, thanks everybody. Bye.